So never come like this. You know we come this far.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to We Come This Far by Faith, our table talk that is going on tonight with Fair Count Faith Team. I am so happy that you all could join us today. We have a wonderful night planned for you. We're going to take a look at Black history, celebrating our past, our present, and our future. But we're also going to have fun. We're going to have some cooking. We're going to have Chef JayBae join us. We're going to have some trivia. We're going to have some special guests. You never know who's going to knock on or ring the doorbell and pop up for dinner. So I am just so happy that you are all with us tonight, because we have come this far by faith, but wait till you see where we are going. And we're going to start going tonight. So I am going to bring in the rest of our team right now to introduce some of our staff. So we have, hey everybody, welcome together.
Hello everybody, hello.
So I am going to turn it over to our moderator for the evening, the one and only Sierra Adams, faith intern extraordinaire, that's going to be leading us tonight. So over to you, Sierra.
Thank you, Dr. Jam. So tonight we have, as Dr. Jam has told us, we have a lot of things planned for you throughout the night. But before we begin, I would love to do some around the table introductions. First, we'll start with our, I guess we'll start with Dr. Jam. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, so I am Dr. Janine Abrams McLean, J-A-M. So people call me Dr. Jam. And I am the vice president at Fair Count. So, yes, and I'm also the daughter of 2 United Methodist ministers. And so I am steeped in the Black church and in the church in general. So I'm very excited to be here tonight with everyone.
Thank you. Ms. Teresa?
Hey everybody, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to our table talk this evening. I'm Teresa Thompson. I am the Faith and Technology Manager here at Fair Count, and I am so excited to get this discussion going. We are about to talk about it tonight, so I'm excited about that. Welcome everybody.
Thank you. Next we have Ms. Sean.
Hello, everybody out there, people of faith. My name is Sean Tucker Allen, and I have the honor every day of serving as the faith coordinator for Fair Count. I am happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here alongside this wonderful team. So happy everybody's here with us tonight.
Thank you. And next we have Josh.
Hey everybody, my name is Josh Hewing. I'm a technology member of the Faith team, and thank you so much for joining.
And lastly, my name is Sierra Adams. I'm also a technology intern here at Fair Count. And before we begin, I would like to note that we are welcoming all questions, comments, and concerns. Please use the chat box to ask questions that we will answer throughout the event tonight. So let's talk. Dr. Jam, could you please share us a recap of the work that Fair Count has been doing, and also what we're presently working on?
Definitely. So Fair Count, for those of you who don't know, we are a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that is focused on making sure that everybody is seen and heard in the census, which is not over yet, to make sure that they're seen and heard in the census, and to make sure that we build pathways to continued civic engagement through voting and through redistricting. So in general, we are committed to long-term power building in communities that have not been a part of the conversation before. And so one of the ways that we've been able to do the work that we've done around the census, around the elections, and the work that we'll be able to do around redistricting is because of our relationships and our partnerships with members of the faith community. Our CEO, Rebecca DeHart, and I knew from the beginning that we would have to include and work with and listen to members of the faith community to make the connections that we needed to make the change that we needed to see. And so we have, from the beginning, been engaged. We have as you see here, we have a wonderful faith team that has been doing all kinds of work that I can't wait to tell you. And it's, we're doing traditional organizing, talking to people, but we also have, and even before the pandemic, we have invested in making sure that we use technology and digital and virtual tools to engage with faith communities in Georgia and around the country. And so, as I said, we've been doing this work. We are getting ready to go into our the next phase of our work, which is redistricting. And a lot of you are probably saying, like, redistricting, what is that? Or isn't that done by isn't that done back, at the Capitol behind closed doors? Some of the map drawings may be done there, but we need to understand that if our communities want to have real power, that we have to be involved in the redistricting process. You can be engaged at the community level to tell your legislators what your community looks like. Maybe the district you're in right now has, your school district or the mall that you go to. But does your community include the church that's across the street in another district? We need you to come together to really tell people what your community looks like, so that when the maps that are drawn that determine who our representatives are, that determine our voting precincts, that determine our school board elections, when all of that is said and done, we want to make sure that communities, like the community and members of the community like you, have had their voice recorded, their thoughts recorded, and so that we know what your community is. And so you're going to hear a lot from us in going forward about redistricting, learning a little bit more about what it is and how it brings you power. But tonight we are going to focus on, it is Black History Month, and we are going to focus on some Black history trivia. We're going to focus on what the Black church has meant for building power in communities. And we're going to talk about things that we can do in the future and how Fair Count can help churches in the future claim the power that they deserve. So with that, I am going to turn it right back over to Sierra.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jam. So as mentioned before, we will be having a bunch of trivia questions. We'll be having some special guests that I will not release right now. And then we also will be sharing throughout the night some other questions for discussion so that you can share what's going on within your community. So with that being said, here's our first question. How has your faith community been directly affected by COVID-19 and having to transition to digital platforms? Don't worry, I will repeat. So here it is again. How has your faith institution or community been directly affected by COVID-19 and having to transition to the digital platforms? You guys can answer in the chat box or and we'll be able to answer them.
Awesome. Well, I'll take a stab at that just because I am a dual role person. Of course, I do work for Fair Count, but I am a first lady. And so we were definitely impacted by COVID-19. Not only, just having to, stop in-person services because we've not went back to in-person services as of right now, but also just some of the losses that we've taken within our church family has been hard. And we had started back in December, just kind of, playing around with going virtual and recording our services and showing them on Facebook. And then in March, it hit us that we really had to kind of put some power behind this, some people behind this, and work through some of the challenges of being able to shift to a all virtual service overnight almost. I think our last Sunday at our church was in March. And so it was a huge transition that we had started in December, but we didn't think we would be relying on it totally in 3 months later. So it's been a huge transition. I don't know about anybody else around the table, but anybody else has been affected with COVID-19.
Thank you so much for sharing. I will say that some of the work that we've been doing with the churches, we've had great feedback as far as them telling us what's going on within their church communities or just any faith institution. And a lot of people have said that, the resources that they have needed or resources that they have used have helped tremendously, especially resources such as our faith app that we'll talk about a little bit later. And yeah, so please share with us some of your concerns or anything related to being affected by COVID-19, and we can provide some additional resources for you. Anybody else want to take a stab?
Well, Teresa and I go to the same church, so but I think that in general, one of the reasons that Fair Count, we do talk a lot about recovery. We just launched a program called Pandemic to Prosperity South that really focuses on 12 states in the South and how claiming your civic power through the census, voting, redistricting can help us through our recovery. And so I think people really need to understand that there are a lot of things that are going on. Well, I think people do understand that there are a lot of things going on, but we can still have hope, right? We can have faith that things are going to get better. And one of the ways that we can do that is really looking at the data and understanding, looking at different indicators. How is the pandemic impacting our, certain communities of color? How are they getting vaccines? And how can we help people get vaccines? We need to think about how the pandemic has impacted our children, knowing that Black and Brown communities were disproportionately impacted by the pandemic, and that there are children, especially in areas that do not have access to the internet, that are struggling with virtual learning, but also having to find that balance between staying safe. And so I encourage everybody to check out Pandemic to Prosperity South. And especially faith communities, because the data that are there, we need trusted voices, be those the voices of pastors or the voices of first ladies like Teresa, or the voices of the young folks in the church, to really spread the message, spread the data so that people are informed, and so that we can work together so that our communities can really survive and thrive after we recover from this pandemic.
Thank you so much for sharing. Quick question, Josh, do we have anything in the comments yet?
Yes, we do have some people in the comments. Eric Reese has said it's been a big learning curve, and that is definitely something that is common with everything going on with COVID-19 in the faith community and in just the community in general. We have some other comments thanking us on our important work. So thank you so much for showing us love in that regards. We appreciate you, and we're just doing all we can from the faith side. And we have some other comments saying good afternoon, and thank you just so much for joining us this evening as we celebrate Black History Month.
And shout out to my good friend, Dr. Talia Mayo, who's putting some comments in the chat. She is a professor at Emory, and she's pretty awesome too.
Please, guys, do not be shy. We are an open discussion right now, and just make sure that you're comfortable asking anything that you need to ask, or just stating anything that you need to state. And thank you again to everyone that's in the comments showing us love tonight. In a second, we will bring on our first special guest, but I just want to make sure to give you guys enough time to ask any extra questions or answer anything that you like to.
I'd like to ask Shun. So Shun's been kind of quiet. She is our faith coordinator, who has really led, some of the efforts that we've utilized to get faith communities technology. And I'm sure she's going to talk a little bit about it. But one of the things that Fair Count did prior to the pandemic that allowed us to pivot once the pandemic hit with a lot of our outreach work was we recognized that over 20% or around 20% of households in Georgia lacked access to the internet. And so working through faith, actually our pilot project was with 25 AME churches, where we installed internet in these churches, provided them with devices. And based on that pilot, which was led by Shun and her building relationships with those pastors, we were able to figure out the all of the issues and really perfect this program. And now we have over 160 installations, internet installations around the state of Georgia. And before I toss it to Shun, I'm just going to tell this one story. When the pandemic hit, because we had installed these internet installations, we had one of our pastors that worked with us who let us know that when the schools closed, and this is in a South Georgia area, when the schools closed, he had up to 40 families pulling up and parking outside of his church every week just so those kids could do their work virtually. And so, you know, this isn't just about making sure people have power, but it's making sure that people have the infrastructure and the resources that they need to claim and utilize that power. So I just want to see if Shun has anything that she wants to add. I don't know why she's being shy tonight.
Well, okay, let me say, first of all, we have a whole first lady on here. So I wanted the first lady to start this thing off. But Janine knows that the technology assistance program, which is what we refer to it at Faircount, is so personal to me. It is to all of us. And it's really just, I mean, the foundation of what we do in faith. We started out with those faithful 25 AME pastors. Certainly shout out to any of them that are on with us tonight. But it is truly just been a testament to everything Faircount. And I'm so immensely grateful for our founder, for Faircount, for this technology assistance program, which has just brought life to so many communities, and also allowed me to worship with some of them, because a lot of them now have the resources to worship. I will say that when it gets to my little portion, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about one of our hubs in particular, but certainly they made such a difference in the lives of so many, as Janine said, not just for what we do with census work, but also for people to do things like fill out their applications for food stamps or apply for a job when there were census jobs out there. We partner with them. So there's so much to it. But again, I just want to say that this technology has really spoken life. It's spoken life to a lot of these churches, and we're so blessed to be able to offer that to them, and certainly just to be here with y'all today. So y'all know I could go on and on and on about these hubs, but I'm going to send it back over to Sierra, but I'll be back. So stay tuned for me.
Yes, thank you, Shun. Can you say sweat? The team has been putting in work. So let's go ahead and move on to our next thing. Chef JayBae will be presenting to us some cooking tonight for you all to take home as your recipe. And she is from McDonough, Georgia. So here she is. Chef JayBae, please introduce yourself and tell us what you'll be cooking up tonight.
Hi, everybody. I am Jordan Thompson, aka known as Chef JayBae. Tonight we are going to be cooking a creamy Tuscan salmon and shrimp pasta. And I just want to say that I salute the hard work that you guys are doing at Faircount. And I'm excited to be cooking for you with everyone tonight.
And Chef JayBae, I'm gonna need you to send a plate.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
Chef, go ahead and cook something up. What's going on in that fry you got going on right there, girl?
Okay, so right now we're going to be heating up the pan. I'm going to show you guys everything as I do it. So my ingredients and everything as I go, I'm going to show you guys. So right now, as the pan is heating, I already have seasoned my salmon and my shrimp. So the seasonings that I've used, I use fresh parsley, I use chili powder, garlic powder, onion salt, and nature seasoning. And if you don't know what nature seasoning is, you gotta get you some, okay? Because it has everything that you need in a combination, and that's the most important thing. That's also what I use on my shrimp. And so when the pan is hot, we're gonna take the salmon on the presentation side. So the side that you wanna, take pictures and make it look pretty, we're gonna put that side down first. And we're gonna let that sear. And once that goes, you're going to then take your shrimp and you're gonna let that sear and you're gonna place that over to the side. And so we're gonna move in a step-by-step process. I have everything all mise en place out, which means everything in its place. And then we're just gonna go like that. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Chef JayBae.
Welcome.
So as you see, we will be cooking up something very, very delicious tonight. So before we move on to the next part, I see that we do have a question in the comments. So Josh, could you please lead that for me? Just go ahead and ask the question or read it.
Oh, we're doing the trivia questions?
No, I think it's Miss Catrice that has a question. Here, pull it back up. I'll read it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my end. Sorry. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. Miss Catrice asks, how will these resources come to fruition without these faithful workers of justice? Oh, I believe it was a compliment. Thank you.
But faithful workers of justice you can't be just with us, right? So all of you that are watching, all of the folks that are in your communities, you are a faithful worker of justice. By sharing information, by encouraging people to participate, you are the ones that allow us to do the work that we are able to do. So I thank everybody that has been a partner with us and that will be a partner with us.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right. So now, yes, we will be moving into our next part, which is the trivia questions. So I hope you guys are ready to get your thinking caps on because Josh will be asking you some hard questions. Go ahead, Josh.
Thank you, Sierra. Like she said, my name is Josh Hewing, but tonight my name is Josh JayBae in honor of the late legendary host. And so I'm going to be starting with some trivia questions. And the first one for today is, when was Black History Month officially recognized? And I'll give everybody a couple moments to answer that in the comments. All right. So Black History Month was officially recognized in 1976 by President Gerald Ford, and its precursor was Negro History Week, and its father, the father of Black history is of course Carter G. Woodson.
Oh wow, I was 2 years old when that happened. Just two. Okay, all right, okay, awesome. Josh, you got another question for us?
Yes, I do.
All right.
So each year, of course, Black History Month has its own theme. And so what is the theme for this year's Black History Month?
Ooh, who know that one?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Can we use Google?
Go ahead. Hey, go ahead. All right. So the answer to this one, this year's theme is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. And that's the theme for this year's Black History Month.
That's awesome. I'm gonna be honest.
That's a great one.
I did not know that there was a theme every year.
Yeah,
I did not know. I'm not even going to fake it.
I'm new to it too.
Yep. Today years old when we found this out.
Right.
Somebody said stumped in the comments. Definitely stumped.
We need some easy questions. Come on in.
Yeah.
Now CJ Walker. Oh, sorry.
Martin Luther King.
Oh, somebody has it. Somebody has it in the comments. Shout out to Mr. Martins.
Yes. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Josh. We'll get back to some trivia questions in a little bit. But right now we do have a little secret that I'm going to let you in on about our guests, and that will be Miss Judge Leslie Abrams tonight.
Hi, everyone. Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
I know you.
I know you too. You look familiar.
Oh man, you look like you might have the same mom and daddy. Everybody,
That's
this is
implying.
this is my sister, the one and only Judge Leslie Abrams Gardner, who herself, well, first, yes, round of applause, who is the embodiment of Black history. And Leslie, will you please tell everyone who is watching why you are a part of Black history?
Well, in 2014, President Obama nominated me, and I was approved by the Senate by a vote of 100-0, and I was sworn in as the first African-American female Article III federal judge for the state of Georgia. Now, as a shout out to our President Obama, as well as the state of Georgia, I have to note that my sister judge and sorority sister, Eleanor Ross, was also confirmed at the same time. I just happened to get sworn in first. So we came in, we did this together.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sierra.
Thank you so much. So as you can see, we have some amazing guests that we are starting out with tonight. And we are blessed to have you all here witnessing this amazing event with us. So next, I'm going to ask a quick little question, and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Jam, who will ask another question. Alrighty. So the next question that we have is, what does Black History Month mean to you and your faith institution? And I'll repeat it again in just a moment. Again, that is, what does Black History Month mean to you and or your faith institution? All right, I'm going to pick on someone from my team to go first. Let's start with our guest, Judge Leslie Abrams.
Thank you. So Black History Month, as I think of my faith tradition and growing up in church, Black History Month was a time that we recognized that we were highlighting and shining a light on all of the greatness that had emerged from the Black story. The churches I went to were always about uplifting and empowering and making sure that the students, I always went to predominantly Black churches. And so they always made sure that we knew who we were and we knew whose we were. But during Black History Month, it was that time to really focus in on and say, out of that gloomy past, this is what we have created. It was also a time that you learned a speech and you learned some history. So if you weren't getting it in school, you were going to research someone and you were going to do some wonderful oratory in front of the church. So that's my Black history. That's what faith and Black History Month, how they come together for me.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to pick on someone else. Miss Teresa, let's go with you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Sierra, for just throwing me on out here. Welcome, Judge Abrams Gardner. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. So I guess you just go back to even being just a little kid and knowing that church was so important in your life. It was at church where you learned a lot of your Black history. Our school didn't do a lot. We had that one day where we of course, we learned about Martin Luther King Jr. And a couple of other Black historians, but that's all we had. It was in the church where we really were able to, our Sunday school teacher would take the whole month, we would put our little book aside, and they would make us learn about Black history. And so it's been just a common thread throughout my life of the church and Black history being together. I mean, it's just, being together. And so I just, thank God for the foundation that was built and the being learned from some of the wise. I had the best Sunday school teachers, y'all. I'm telling you. Now they were seasoned and they didn't play. Don't have no gum. Don't have no drink. None of that. But they showed love and compassion, and they were our first really teachers, not just biblical teachers, but all teachings. And so Black history is so important to me. And I just, thank God for the opportunity to still be able to be and bear witness here about Black history.
Thank you so much, Teresa and Judge Leslie, for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next part that we have. But before we begin, let's go ahead and begin with Chef JayBae. Chef, what you got?
Okay, so right now we have done a couple of steps. So we have seared the salmon and the shrimp on both sides, and we have gone to deglaze the pan. Deglazing the pan consists of using wine or some type of stock to get all the bits of the pan where the salmon and the shrimp was. So you're gonna deglaze the pan with the white wine after you add your shallots and your garlic. And then I did, if you guys could see me, I did
I'm sorry to interrupt you really quickly. I think your video went out for a sec.
Okay.
Let me see. She will be right back with us.
It was looking good, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was so good. The camera
was.
All right, so before we move on, let me make sure that Chef is not popping back in right now. Okay, we'll resume that in just a moment. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so next, I think we're back.
Okay, are we back?
Yes.
Okay, we're back. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, add your shallots and your garlic to the pan. You saute that, and you deglaze the pan with your white wine, and you let that evaporate for a little bit until it is really small liquid. And now you're gonna add your heavy cream. So Kroger brand heavy cream, nothing serious. We're gonna add that. If you guys like it really saucy, add a lot more than what I put in the ingredients. I would say for 2 people, just add 2 cups. I'm gonna toss that around in the pan, and we're gonna bring that to a small simmer. And once that goes to a simmer, we're gonna add our sun-dried tomatoes. You can also get these from Kroger. They're just sun-dried tomatoes in the package. And I have some chopped up fresh spinach for you as well. And we're gonna add our shredded Parmesan cheese and egg yolk.
That sounds so delicious. I love it.
I haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah.
This is definitely gonna make you hungry.
Yes. While we watch Chef continue a little bit, I see that we do have an answer to our previous question in the comments. Ms. Catrice said to her that Black History Month means that those who rose in resilience made real American history. And we honor them and organizers, MLK, and so many others for their great progress. And it also means for her to re-examine the whiteness and dismantle a false system, which means we are all precious yours. And she has said nothing false in that thing. All right. Okay, Chef, you good, or you want to take a break quickly?
No, I'm good. As long as you guys can see me, then we're good. Right now, I just added the egg yolk, so you're gonna add your egg yolk when the cream is not simmering yet, because if you add it while it's simmering, you'll have scrambled eggs in your pasta, and I don't think you want scrambled eggs pasta. So you add your egg yolk, and then we're gonna add our chopped spinach, and we're gonna add our sun-dried tomatoes, and we're gonna let that simmer as well, and soak up the flavors from the wine and the salmon and everything else that was in the pot.
Yes,
that looks delicious.
It really does.
It really does.
Smell it if you're cooking it with me. If you guys can smell that, woo! It's the garlic. The garlic for me.
All right.
That goes to simmer, add the Parmesan cheese.
All right, Chef JayBae, is it okay if we go ahead and go to Sean?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now we will be bringing on Ms. Shawn Tucker Allen, who will be talking with us about why faith communities are key to the work that we do at Faircount, as well as why leaders should connect with you.
Thank you so much, Sierra. Let me just say again that I am so proud to be on this screen with this dynamic and talented faith team that we have at Faircount under the direction of our very own Janine, Dr. J, Dr. Jam, as we refer to her, who really is the wind behind our back, the wind behind the back of this whole entire department. So I am here to talk to you tonight or this afternoon about why we cannot do this work without you, the faith community. And as everybody on here knows, this is a community that we rely on because we know it's nothing new. It's been something that we have done for generations and generations. We come to our faith community, in particular, our Black church, our Black faith leaders. So let me just say before I get deep in this thing, that as we sit in this month of Black history, I just want to take a moment to recognize the contribution of our Black faith leaders, our pastors, our imams, our rabbis. They are our frontline essential workers, bringing to us that what nobody else really can bring, and speaking to us and our tiredness and our weary souls. I mean, really, when we're just finding ourselves like we are right now in a pandemic, a lot of us just chaotic and in despair, in a season of unrest. We have had a very tough census count. We have brothers and sisters that are hungry with no jobs, especially in our more rural and isolated communities that Faircount focuses on. These are communities that feel cut off, left out, like Janine mentioned, with substandard schools and inadequate resources. So we also find ourselves preparing for a redistricting cycle that all signs point to being one that is not, I repeat, not in the spirit of the people. So I'm going to say to y'all today that not only do we need our faith leaders, we need them now more than ever, but also that this moment calls for the strength of the entire Black church. So this moment is going to call for our faith leaders out there. We're going to ask you to work across those denominations, across those faiths. These are leaders, as you know, that we trust over everybody else. We trust our pastors and our imams over the mayor, over the local school board, over the CDC, because our pastors are our trusted news sources. Again, but they can't do it by themselves. And I just want to say today that we are reminded that our very own anthem tells us to lift every single voice and sing. And that means that we have to start by lifting every one of our voices. So just like all of those fresh ingredients over there that Chef JayBae is throwing together for us this afternoon, let's not let that symbolism go unnoticed. So just like all those parts are coming together to make something special, let us all come together to make something special. People of faith, clergy, lay, young, old. This moment calls for every single one of us, for our pastor alliance together, for our youth departments to team up, for the mothers of one church to stand with mothers of other churches, just like we did back in the day. And for all of us to remember that despite every single thing out there that's trying to set us back, that we have come this far by faith. And our very own Dr. J reminded us that last week. The sister did a powerful message, and I implore everybody on here, if you missed it, to go back and check it out. But Janine reminded us that our faith has sustained us, that our faith is our lily in the valley. So just like the chef's meal, we need to continue to blend our resources together, recognizing that every single ingredient brings a flavor that is necessary for the success of this meal, necessary for the success of this movement by us, the people. We mentioned the hubs earlier, and I spoke to a man at one of our partner churches, one of our hubs, a faithful church, pastored by a faithful pastor, young pastor who is pastoring 2 congregations across two counties in a pandemic. And the man at the church told me that he himself personally drives miles, country miles, y'all know what I'm talking about, every weekend to pick up members, a few members who are isolated in deeply rural areas. These people are cut off from everybody else. No way to receive that one little message of hope from that pastor. Cut off from information that they need. And this man told me how he drives every week and picks those people up and brings them back to that rural church. And they use the computers and the hotspot that Faircount gave them. And they stream that pastor is doing in the neighboring county. That church, as I mentioned, is a part of our technology assistance program. And that program, as Janine and I discussed earlier, has allowed us to put computers and hotspots in over 60 rural churches, over 160 locations total. But that man, with a few other faithful members at that church helping him, are sacrificing their time, their energy, risking their safeties in a pandemic to bring a few members, not a whole bunch, a few members, to a place of hope so they can get a trusted word with our equipment. Just like those ingredients coming together to make something special. But what I want y'all to know is this is why we work at Faircount. It's also why Black churches matter. It's why the faith community is key. So I want you to know, if you're a pastor out there, or a missionary, or a young music minister, or a sister from the masjid in the neighborhood, stand with this faith team. Let us bring you the tools. Let us do the research. Let us bring you the toolkits in the language that resonates for your community. Watch our programming, just like tonight. Teresa, Josh, Sierra, Janine, we designed these things for you. You are always in mind. And know that you matter to us. If you have a church of 10 people, what I want you to know today is that that's okay for us. Because our faith tells us that it only takes 2 or 3 together. And it's okay if you have no money in your offering plates, because God still favors you and will deliver you from any storm, any pandemic, any COVID-19. And that all you need is the faith of a mustard seed. And I want to end, just sorry for being long-winded. I told y'all earlier, I always have a lot to say. But I want to end by just saying how wonderful it is that Teresa and I get to showcase our young talent, because Josh and Sierra are just rising stars, and they're so critical to our team. And we listen to their voices because we understand that as time evolves, so much our efforts, and that we have to defer to our young voices. We have to give them a seat at the table. There have been publications that have told us that the Black church is dying, and that many of our young people don't see a place for them at the planning tables of our churches. And I'm saying to you today that I don't accept that it has to be that way, because I know the power of the Black church. You know the power of the Black church. And I know that the church is still relevant. And if you for 1 second doubt me, I'm going to say, ask yourself to consider all of these efforts going on to just discontinue the Sunday vote. So Black people, we need our young people in our churches, in our masjids, and we have to embrace them without judgment. So many of our leaders are apprehensive about turning things over to younger people of faith. I mean, really forgetting that all of us were young. But I want every person out there to know that Faircount is in the business of the people. And for Faircount, that means working with all the people of every background, people of every age, because we know that there is no age requirement on faith, but there's also no age requirement on this work. We understand that this is a long game, and that we're going to get tired, we're going to get weary, and that we're going to need to rotate in fresh minds alongside seasoned ones. We're going to need to add more spice to the ingredients, just like Chef JayBae. But I also want to remind everybody that Saul told David that he was only a boy trying to challenge a man that had been in the war game since he was young. But David told Saul, take a chance on me, because what I lack in age, I promise you I make up for in faith. Let me use my own tools. And with nothing but a sling and a stone and the favor of God, he prevailed. So I want to say to everybody out there, let us use every single tool, every player in our arsenal, every resource that we have to move ourselves forward to better days. And I want you to know 100% with confidence that this faith team that you see on this screen right now, under the direction of Janine, we're ready to serve you. So God bless every single person for joining us for this wonderful program. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, little sis, so you can keep doing your extraordinary
I'm
job.
sorry.
Listen.
I just got to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Look, Sean, ain't nobody got to go to church tomorrow because Sean just preached. Okay.
Take up an offering. Please send all cash apps. Yeah, y'all some Zelle. Yeah, send it on. We need to take up a Sean. That was so powerful, sis. That was so powerful and moving and meaningful from your heart. Thank
Thank
you.
you all, but know every single day the words that come through me are only because I am a vessel. I'm a vessel on this movement. So I thank God for everybody on this screen. But Fair Count is ready to work, people. We're ready to work. Faith at faircount.org. Take it back, Sierra. Tell them what's next.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much for that. As you all can see, we are very passionate and very genuine with our work because we love what we do. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be asking a few questions. And my first question is for Judge Leslie Abrams, and that will be, how do you feel about being the first Black female federal judge in the state of Georgia?
You know, I can't help but have mixed feelings. First, it's a feeling of pride and a feeling of thankfulness. A lot of people went through a lot of things to get me where I am today, not just talking about my family, but our ancestors who bowed their heads and held their tongues when they were being disrespected because they knew that, yes, they may want to fight in that moment, but there was something down the road, something that could be greater. And so for all of the people who did not get to achieve their dreams, but worked, protested, kept their heads down, built this country that we call ours, for all of them, I can't help but feel proud and blessed and thankful and completely humbled to be in this position. But as I told you, I became the first African-American female federal judge in the state of Georgia in 2014. And for that, I can't help but feel a little sad because there's still so many firsts. We're still making firsts. We were all, when I was a little girl, we were learning about the first. I've always wanted to be a federal judge as far as I can remember. I remember writing an essay about Thurgood Marshall. It may have been during Black History Month, but I know it was in elementary school. And after reading about him and Constance Baker Motley, I had decided I wanted to be the first Black female on the Supreme Court. And I went after that goal. But I remember when I got to law school and I was there in 99 in the early 2000s, and I was thinking, you know what? I still want to be on the court, but I don't want to be the first Black woman. Please tell me that somebody's going to make it soon. And that's where the sadness, that's where the bittersweet part comes in, is that we are still making firsts, which should have been made decades and decades ago. So I am proud, I am humbled, but I am also still fired up to fight because it's time for us to get rid of all these firsts. It needs to be the norm. We need to be everywhere that we are qualified to be, which is everywhere. So that's how I feel about it. I'm happy, but I'm ready to go on, and I'm glad. I have to say I'm so honored to have been one of President Obama's appointees because he increased the number of Black women on the bench. He increased diversity on the bench. We had a little slump thereafter, and I really believe that our courts should reflect our country. When people come in to our courts, and it's not a matter of seeing a Black judge and thinking that you're going to get preferential treatment, because you're not. But it is about saying, when you look across the courts, you know that the courts are your courts, that we are servants of justice, and that you are deserving of and a part of justice. And so for us to truly say that we are a just system, we can't keep people out. And when you're talking to people, especially mostly in my criminal work, whose lives are being completely changed, knowing that there is a diversity of gender, of race, of background, of socioeconomic status, all of those things of experience is really important, because when you go before, you want to know whatever's happened to you, that somebody, I might have had a conversation with somebody, a fellow judge, that made me think about your case a little bit differently. But either way, I'm open to hearing you, and I'm open to understanding that my experience may not be your experience, but I know that my experience is not the only experience that matters. So I understand how powerful my position is, and I am grateful to be in a place where I can represent my community and say I bring one of the many parts of America into the courtroom.
Thank you so much. That was very inspiring, and we are all very appreciative for the history that you have made and the history that you are going to make, because we are very, very trusting in what you can do, and we believe in you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, I love it. Yes, we do. So inspiring. Oh, I'm sorry.
Definitely need another hand clap. Okay, guys, let's get
Come off of mute for that.
Yes. All right, y'all. So now it's time to put your thinking caps back on, because we have some more trivia questions for you. Now I'll turn it over to Josh.
Hey again, everyone. Our next trivia question, speaking of first, who became the first U.S. track and field athlete to win 4 gold medals in a single Olympiad? Thank you for the music. Again, that was who was the first track and field athlete to win 4 Olympic gold medals in a single Olympiad? All right, and that person was Jesse Owens, the great Jesse Owens.
Yay, I had it in my brain. Yay.
That was the 1936 Olympics. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Josh, you got one more?
Yeah, I got one more. When it comes to Black history, of course, we have some great, excellent inventors, and those inventions make our life easier today. So I'll definitely go with the next one is, who invented the stoplight? Again, that was who invented the stoplight? And that person was Garrett Morgan in 1923.
See, I had that all wrong. Okay, I'm going back to history. Can somebody give me the Black history book, because I had that. I wasn't listening in Sunday school. Okay, I'm sorry.
All righty. Okay, and Josh, could you repeat the answer for us? We're getting some answers in again.
Yes, that was Garrett Morgan, who invented the stoplight, and the previous one was Jesse Owens, who won the 4 gold medals.
Okay, good job, guys. I see all of you who guessed Jesse Owens. If you didn't, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. But and then we also got some correct guesses about Garrett Morgan. Good job. I surely would have gotten it wrong. So, all right, guys. So now we're going to move into the comments. If you guys have any questions for us, please ask them now. And if not, we will move on.
All right.
Just a quick little intro into our next little spiel. Before we start, we will be showing our Faith app video that will be brought in by Miss Teresa Thompson, and she will show our great presentation for that.
All right. Hey, everybody. Woo-hoo. Thank you for being with us tonight. We are so excited that you are here. You have heard so much tonight. I mean, when Judge Abrams Gardner was talking, I was getting goosebumps. Like, you know, being the first, somebody got to be the first. And to know that that's the title that you hold, but then you're going to continue, that there are other firsts that are coming behind you. That is so amazing. So thank you so much. Those Abrams sisters, I mean, the whole fan. Okay, all right. So they are bad. Oh my goodness. All right. So thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. We have been on and we've been talking about all the work that Faircount is doing. You heard about the tech hubs from Sean. And so in my role, I get to talk with faith leaders across the country about a resource that we have called the Faith app. The Faith app is free church management software that we are gifting and sowing into any faith institution, anywhere, any size, no matter the denomination. So we work with everybody across the spectrum, and we give this software to you as a gift so you can continue to work even through this pandemic and stay connected when we have to be so apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll a video because we went to this church and we helped them out a little bit. So we're going to do a check-in with our Sugar Street Baptist Church and just see how they were doing since they got the Faith app. So let's take a look and see what's happening at Sugar Street Baptist Church, and we'll be right back. I am here at the church today. I tell you, we got so much going on here at this church. I tell you what. And listen, I got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna need to kind of figure out how to get my work done today. I don't know. I've got so much to do today. Woo! I'm so glad I'm here at the church by myself. Is this Martha? Don't Martha know I'm at the church? Let me get Martha off this line. Hey, Martha. Hey, how you doing, Martha? Listen, Martha, girl, it's good to hear from you on the day. How you been? Oh, we've been good over here at Sugar Street Baptist Church. You know, I'm the super admin, and we doing good over here, Martha. The winter food? Yes, Martha, the winter food box giveaway it was so good, Martha. I tell you. They say now, you know what they say, that Sister Sandra got 4 boxes. But now, Martha, I ain't gossiping. Now, Martha, I ain't say that. Don't you tell nobody that I said that, Martha. Shh. But Martha, they said that was the best food closet thing. Winter food box giveaway, my little dementia coming in. But they said that the winter food box giveaway was real good. I tell you. What's that? Oh, the Faith app. Martha, don't get me started talking about that Faith app thing here. Listen, Martha, cause now they know that my spiral notebook be working now, Martha. I don't understand what they talking about. Y'all want, Martha? You heard we had got it and it was good, Martha. Girl, let me tell you, Martha, about that Faith app. Listen, let me get my girl. You know what, Martha? I wonder if we could get, what's her name? Oh, the girl that came in, and you heard about it, didn't you, Martha, girl? I believe her name was some Faithy or something. Let me see. Wait a minute, Martha. Martha, somebody coming in on this computer here. I don't know.
Oh, hey, Mamie. How's it going?
Martha, Martha. Girl, she on this line again, Martha. Here. Listen, I'm finna put you on speak on this secular device, and I'm gonna let her tell you about this Faith app. Listen now, Martha, I ain't trying to get y'all to get this thing now, cause see, listen, I'm still, trying to work it out. But Martha, we got her on the phone again. She done popped.
Hello.
Oh, Faithy.
You there?
Oh, hey, Faithy.
Hey, how's it going?
How she know? Everything all right, Faithy. What? Oh, well, listen, let me tell you, since you done popped in, Faithy, I got Martha on this here secular device. You see my secular? I got Martha on this secular here. And so I'm gonna
Martha.
Martha said, hey, Martha, I know you can't see her, but she said, hey, Martha, now hold it down. Wait, she gonna, okay, Miss Faithy, we glad you here, I guess. So I'm gonna need you to come on and share. Just Martha won't know about that thing y'all gave us. I don't know, but can you tell us what y'all got?
Yes, of course, Mamie. So the Faith app is church management software. And with the Faith app, you'll be able to digitize your membership roles as well as have memberships on the go. And you'll be able to access the information anywhere you go with the platform, okay? So the finance department, Melvin, in this case, will be able to have full control over all the financial dealings, and it's all in one spot. They will have the ability to do reports, analyze the contributions, the givens, the offerings, whatever it is relating to money. And they'll also be able to track and compare the yearly financials. So you also have the ability to plan and schedule within the platform. So if you need to schedule an event, I heard you guys have a virtual table talk coming up.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Martha, can you hear this girl? Martha, okay, all right. She said, go ahead, cause she like it. I don't know about it. But Martha said, keep going.
Okay. And so if you have any questions about security, we do have our daily security checks. We make sure that we do updates every single day if there's anything that needs to be updated. And we also make sure that we absolutely do not share your information with anybody except for you and whoever you tell us to.
Martha, listen. That's what she said. Okay, go ahead, Miss Faith.
Okay. So now, if you guys need tech assistance, we do have that available to you for 24/7. Okay, it can be 25/7 if that's the case. If you need us on the 25th day, it's okay on the 25th hour. So my team and I, if we are not available, then we do have the Faith app support team that will be there in our place. Also, the Faith app is very user friendly. It's rarely any problems or any hassle on our end. And many of our onboarded faith institutions, they say it's super duper easy to use. And
listen, Martha, she said it was easy. I'm trying to see Martha. They ain't let me get in yet. But Martha, I know. Okay. I'll be quiet, Martha. She said, go ahead, Miss Faith.
Okay, great. Okay, we do provide any type of tech assistance. And once again, once we show you and go through all of the training, we will be able to help you navigate the whole platform. I promise.
Martha, you got any more questions for this here Faith? She popped in on us again. I don't understand. Okay, Martha, just hold on. Here, let me find the mute button. Hold on, Martha.
Now, maybe,
huh?
I do have another meeting to run off too. So did you guys have any more questions or anything?
Can you show me where the mute button on my phone so I can mute Martha?
Miss May, I don't think I can help you right now. You gotta just press the mute button.
Yeah, well, goodbye. We'll see you. We'll see you later, honey.
Okay, I'll see you. Thank you.
I know. I'm just. Martha, girl. So you heard about, there it is, the Faith app. I don't know what it is, but they said it helped us with the winter food box giveaway, and it was a success. I don't believe it, but that's what they said, Martha. So listen, I'm gonna call you and we're gonna continue. But listen, now what they said was that, now listen, Martha, let me tell you about, they said so-and-so got 4 boxes of the thing.
As you can see, it's another successful story on Sugar Street. Another miracle, you could say. Mamie Spiral is hopefully on its way out, and she's finally convinced to utilize the Faith app. The Faith app is available for all faith institutions across all denominations. We present a live demo of the Faith app every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. To receive your free gift, email us at faith@faircount.org to begin the next steps. And for more information on Faircount, visit our website at www.faircount.org and check out our new faith page. Please spread the word of this free gift to your other faith institutions that you may know. And thank you. And that's all from Sugar Street.
And there you have it. Listen. There you have it. So if there are any questions about the Faith app, we are here to answer those questions for you. I know y'all laughing too hard, and y'all.
I don't have a question about the Faith app. I know it's free $99 and it is wonderful. I just need to know what a suckler device is. I'm sorry, Sierra. I'm sorry. You moderate.
No, this Mamie had me going.
Mamie had you messed up, boy. Mamie, I tell you that Mamie. We know she's not at any of the churches for any of the viewers that are watching. We know y'all don't have a Mamie. We know y'all don't have a Mamie. But you do need this free church management software that we're giving away for the next 3 years. We, as Josh said, we gather together every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Head over to our website, faircount.org, and visit our page to find out more about this free gift that we're sowing into each of these churches, faith institutions, no matter the size, location, or denomination. We have this free resource for you. So, Sierra, take it away because Mamie got to get on her suckle. I need to call. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for sharing that video. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. But before we completely end the night, we will check in with our chef. And if you guys have any questions or concerns or comments that you want to leave us, please do it in the comment box. And I'll turn it over to Chef JayBae.
Okay, you guys. So I went ahead and finished the pasta. While the cream and stuff was going, I went ahead and boiled my noodles and I drained those. So one thing about noodles, and I stress this enough, anything pasta, once you drain the noodles, please season them. Season them, please. Just add a little some. Just I add nature seasoning and butter, and a squeeze of lemon. That just makes it, I don't know, it just gives it something underneath once you put the sauce on top. So once that was going, I went ahead and put the salmon and the shrimp back into the sauce. And I put my pasta on the bottom and I plated my food. So this is the creamy Tuscan salmon and shrimp pasta. And on top, you can add more parsley if you want to, and some more Parmesan cheese, that's it up, anything that you want. It's a really simple, easy step 1, 2, 3 dish. If you want the ingredients and you want the directions, just send a chat and I'll give them to you. It's easy.
Yes.
So
that was delicious.
I know. Can we get somebody to come by and pick up a plate? I'm just saying. Maybe tell us how we can get in contact with you, Jordan. Tell us a little bit about your journey getting to where you are right now.
Okay, so I recently just moved. I went to school in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I graduated culinary school May 2019. And I was working at a private golf club. It was great. It was cool, but I just needed something for myself. And we moved down here back to Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. And we moved back to Atlanta. I had my son in October. And I just could not find work. COVID was just really just tearing me down. And I was getting frustrated. And I was like, I got to do something. And I know how to cook. And people love my food. So that's what I started doing. I took a leap of faith, and I posted a recipe that I did. And people were just like, when are you going to start selling plates? When are you going to do a restaurant? When are you going to do this? And so every weekend I sell plates and people buy. And it's just been blowing up. People have been asking me to do events, and it's amazing. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I am stepping out on faith and doing the things that God told me that I'm supposed to be doing. And that's cooking, y'all. So
All
if you need
right.
contact me at Courageous Ways, you can look me up on Facebook under Jordan Thompson or Courageous Ways. That is with 2 S's at the end, _ways with 2 S's at the end. Or look up just Jordan Thompson and you should be able to find me.
So now, Jordan, where did you go to school in North Carolina? Where did you graduate?
I graduated at Johnson & Wales, North Carolina. Johnson & Wales University. So there's 4 different campuses, and I went to the one in North Carolina.
Awesome. So now listen, what else you cooking tomorrow? Because we hungry over here, and we just need.
So tomorrow I am selling plates. They're $15. They are called a soul food sandwich. So I am doing buttermilk fried chicken with smoked turkey neck collard greens on top and fresh pickled onions, all between 2 Johnny cakes. Johnny cakes are cornbread, and I do my sweet honey like Jiffy, so you don't want to miss that.
Listen, I need to play 2 orders. What's your cat?
I'm hungry with an O. Like
look, all caps, okay.
All caps.
Black chefs matter. Okay, Black chefs matter.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chef JayBae. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. We will be praying for you that God will continue to use you and your gifts. And so, listen, send my plate because I'm sorry. Sierra, go take it away. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm about to tell her to strip me a plate too. Okay. Thank you. So it is such a blessing that you have the gift to feed people because we always gonna eat. Okay. So as I don't see any questions in the comments, so if you guys have anything that you want to ask us outside of this, please contact us at Faith at Fair Count. And so Dr. Jam, do you have any lasting words for us tonight?
Yes, I just want to thank everyone who joined us on Facebook and on YouTube, and to everybody who will see this after the broadcast is over. I just want to thank you for joining us. I want to give a special shout out to Sierra Adams being the hostess. Whoa.
You did that.
And also another special shout out to Josh Trebek. Our other
you did that too, brother.
Yeah, you did.
Even though I don't know no answers.
Shout out to Miss Mamie for telling us about the Faith app. Again, free 99. You don't get any better than that. And it is something that will completely change your church and your ability to reach your community. So shout out to Miss Mamie, to our faith and technology manager, Teresa Thompson. I don't know, she's our faith coordinator, but she might need to be pastor.
No pastor. I'm happy to be in the house.
You brought it tonight. And I just thank you so much for the words. I know that they come from a place of passion and from your heart and from your strong faith. So thank you for all that you do, Sean. And
thank you.
But certainly, and Chef JayBae.
Woo!
Look, I'm up here trying to lose weight, but you know I might have to sacrifice a few pounds for some buttermilk. That's delicious.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Thank you so much. And I need to know what nature seasoning is because you're putting that on everything. So I will be following up with that. And last, but certainly not least, I would like to thank our special guest, Judge Leslie Abrams Gardner, showing up and hanging out with us tonight. Giving us a word of her own. I am very, very proud to have her as my sister and my friend, and as a mentor, as a someone to look up to. I've been very blessed that I have amazing brothers and sisters and parents that I can just I'm the baby of the family. So I've always had the best role models I think anybody could ever have. So thank you so much, Leslie, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Always great to see you. I'm always so inspired and in awe of the work you do and the imagination and passion you bring to it. But I had fun tonight. Y'all are crazy.
Hey!
Okay, the whole team has to shout out Dr. Jam. We cannot leave you.
Yes.
Wait. I have one more other person that people can't see, but he's been running things behind the scenes. He is our communications director, Jason Ludwig.
Thank you, Jason.
He can come on camera if he wants to, but shout out to Jason. He knows me crazy, and he rolls with it. So thank you so much, Jason, for all of the help that you did with this event tonight.
Yes, thank you.
And I'll turn it back over to Sierra to take us out.
Well, like I was saying, we got to shout out Dr. Jam.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. J, for all you do.
The baddest chick in the land.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much for attending tonight, and we hope to see you at the next event. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, comments, anything you want to say to us, please email us at faith@faircount.org. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
I just want to jump through the screen and get that quick.
I know. I think we're still broadcasting.